Guys, Adam Paul Seagram here. I am coming to you today to talk to you about your real power. As you know, I'm a metaphysical life coach, a teacher, and psychic intuitive, and a lot of other things. Former retreat leader and a teacher of the science of mind, divine sciences. This is not Scientology. This is something else. And I'm also an artist, so I'm in here in my studio today, and see a painting I've just completed behind me. It's really about global unity, global peace, and the inspiration and the light of the divine, all of the galaxy's internal knowing is in you, it's in me, and we are part of this. We're part of this wake-up shift right here and right now. So we're going to have a good time with it. Despite what the world dangles before us, there's a lot of trauma going on because people don't know what's happening, and their freedoms are being threatened. And basically, on one level, that's true. On another level, it's just about waking up. You know, Tina Turner always said you could do this rough or you could do this easy. Well, they didn't do it easy, so we're getting to do it rough. Okay? It's really about waking up and knowing that you're one with all that is. You're one with God. It's not the old man in the sky with a long white beard that judges some and rewards others. Okay? You are, I like to say, the thing itself. That thing we call God is our internal clock. It's our internal dialogue of higher truths of love and light. Anything that is not that, anything that is fear or doubtful, is old news. It's no longer valid. It's going out the door, and this is the time to claim your power. Okay, and if it isn't being used for good, it's being used for something else. So anyone promoting fear and limitation is trying to rob your power, because anytime you put whatever you put your attention on is taking your power. So let's just know that you are the thing itself. You have a choice to make here, and you can say, I'm a being of power, I'm a being of light, I'm a being of love. Whatever we put out is what's going to come back to us. So we have to be careful with that in judging others. In doing so, we judge ourselves. And it's a boomerang. What you put out, guess what? Where it comes, it lands right here. So we want to stay in your chakras, your lotus, highest crown chakra, your voice, your throat chakra, your heart, your chest chakra, your stomach, your gut, and your lower chakras. All total 7. And to come from there in everything we do, in every choice, is a check-in. Is this for the highest good for myself? Am I judging someone else? Or am I choosing for myself a lighter path? This is the time where you don't jump in the hole to rescue people. It's be turned into a, for lack of a better word, it's like, what do they call that? Quicksand, okay? You get caught in it very easily. And once you put your attention on, you're going to see more. And we're here to bring light to those situations. So stand on the side and send light. You can reach out a hand, but don't get in the hole with it, okay? So this is the time where you speak of power and you speak of, if something's standing in your way, I want you to claim your power. This is, speak to the mountain and the mountain shall move. We have that kind of power. We've been taught through the ages that we are powerless because those who ran the churches and states of old time, and some today, wanted to control you. They want to take your power. They want to use your power for their own greed and for their own power retention and to control everybody and everything. And that light that will help change that is in you, and it's coming to us now for our own available use, greater and greater now. So we have an opportunity here to choose light or dark. There's no choice for me. I've been doing this all my life. I've experimented with the dark. I've been there. I've seen it. I know what it's like. Darkness also includes light because the yin and the yang is in everything. So, but now is the time to choose. Okay, so you got to choose what you feel is coming from your heart, not what your mind says. Oh, maybe it should be this way, or oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I can do that, or that sounds scary. Forget that. Go back to the heart. What does the heart want to hear? Heart wants just love. Heart wants just to be at peace. Heart wants to share. The heart is unity. So anything that doesn't support unity isn't for the highest good of all at this time. So we have to make choices. Does this serve everybody or does it just serve me? Do I get what I want? Usually when you give over to unity, everybody gets what they want, and there's a piece of it for all of us. So we want to be in that place where we're causing what's called right action and not wrong action, because there's karma building here as well. So we're going to have to pay back this karma at some time. I made an agreement when I came in, because I kind of knew what was happening as a kid, that I wouldn't create any new karma, because I knew while I was here from negative experiences, because I agreed to pay it back in this lifetime, because I don't want to come back to this dimension again. This dimension needs too much help. We're here to lift it out of the muck it's falling into. This is what happens to a world that forgets that ego eases God out. God is the old man in the sky. God is the center of your being. We're all part of it, okay? So this is what happens to a world, this mess that's in the world, to a world that forgets God. We've been convinced God is a bad thing. We've been convinced it's a church thing. We've been convinced that it's a hell or heaven thing. That's all bullshit. Pardon me. It's bull. Take that back. No, first place that I said it. But anyway, I'm trying to be polite. I try to be polite. So I'm here to help you be polite to yourself. This is about loving yourself. When you love yourself, then you can love others, you can help others. But loving ourselves is not jumping in the hole, into the muck, into the poison, because it's toxic right now. It's more toxic than it's ever been. And those who are running the greed show want you in there, because then they've got you. Okay, they feel like they've got you. The point being, they're terrified of us waking up, the people, all the people, and they are waking up. That's why they're terrified. They know they're going to lose. You can always hear the nails scraping on the board as they're going down. And they'll try anything. They'll pull out anything. But if you say, you know what, this isn't my game. This is your game. I'm not interested in playing your game. My game is light and love, and don't even bother with me, because I'm not interested, okay? I'm here to send light and love to everything and everybody, including the dark forces. They need it too. They'll get there eventually, because we're all going to go to the light and to the love. But we must practice it now, and we must choose to practice it, and we must choose to be the one who brings it to situations. And step back, and don't be doubtful of your power. There's much more power in light and love. We are beings of great power, okay? Speak to the mountain, and the mountain shall move. This is your choice at this time. So, when I went to school in Minnesota, they'd say about winters and all that, buck up. It was really, buck up for the cold. I never liked it, but I dealt with it, okay? And I had a big collie dog, and I'd walk around the park. I was in the city, and I'd have to take my dog out, at night. And sometimes the wind chill was like 60 and 80 below. The actual temperature was 40 something, 50 below real temperature. I found a great big old beaver coat at the Goodwill back in those days. I was in school. It came down mid-calf and long, heavy. You could never be cold in that thing. And I had on the gloves, a couple pairs of gloves, I think. And I would put on. Someone had a costume that was like a beetle wig from the original Beatles. I put the beetle wig over my hair. Then I'd put on a stocking cap that just had an opening for the eyes. And then I'd put a scarf around me, and I'd take the dog out for a walk. My eyelashes would get icicles, okay, and on my nose. So why am I telling you that story? It goes back to buck up. So we have to buck up and do whatever it takes, and know that we are beings of power and love and light, and that we have divine protection. If we feel or doubt that, we can ask for divine protection. We all have angels and guides around us. So call in those angels and guides. Let them show you the way and know that they've got your back, okay? But you got to communicate with them. So I encourage you all to learn to talk to your own guides, your own angels, develop a rapport with them. They're here, they're assistants to the God being, this Godhead, we call it, the light of love. And they are available to help us, and they just love to handle that, okay? I had one other time when I was in a restaurant in Los Angeles when I lived there, and I was at dinner with a friend who was kind of acting out, and I don't know, wasn't being very, it wasn't good restaurant rapport, let's just put it that. And a lady across the room, and that was just who he is, he wasn't really conscious of how he was, and I was a little bit embarrassed, but not really. I'm pretty good with most people, always. But anyway, a woman across the room starts out louding really nasty things that are directed to our table. And I eventually asked the restaurant owner, I pointed it out and asked him to ask her to leave. But when I left there, I realized that something about my friend set her off. And I realized it wasn't about him, it was about her. So I went home and I started calling in my angels because I couldn't do anything about it. I said, handle this for me. Have my angels talk to her angels and work on her tonight, because this can't be out in the public. This is doing too much harm and damage, like some of the politicians are doing who know nothing of what they're doing. They're so unillumined. They're like act like 6-year-olds, and that's their consciousness, and they don't really realize how they damage themselves. And when they don't respect others to such a degree, you know that they don't respect themselves. They have no self-respect. They could care less. Anyway, they're being removed. Just watch. Okay, when the women wake up and take the vote, things are going to change. And also, that's not my business, but I'm telling you that's what's happening. So, and I know that. So don't worry too much about that. Everything's going to work out fine, and you're going to be prospered and protected, especially when you call it in and ask for put the violet flame and white light, put violet flame over your head and white light around you and around your house, around your car, around your home, around your children, and around your loved ones. And prayer is so powerful. It's phenomenal powerful, because you are one with the thing that created you, and that's who you're talking to, your higher self. Okay? And higher self loves us unconditionally. It is our being that isn't our name, but it's the same being who's our higher self in all the lifetimes and experiences and dimensions that we're in. So you can talk to that being and ask it to guide you. Okay? So within all that, I'm going to close and know that you are in the place of where love is always available, a choice is always available. You do not have to choose fear. You can put your hand out and say, no, I'm not playing your game. I'm not interested in that. Go somewhere else. And I'm sending you love and light, so you better run. Okay? Don't mess with me, fellas. Did you ever see that movie, Joan Crawford in Moby Dearest, where she's on the board of Pepsi Cola, which is the true story, and her husband died, who was the chairman of the board, and she was the movie star they hired to be the voice of Pepsi. And they thought when he died that she would step down, and they asked her to do so. They presented her with that, and she said, "Oh, don't mess with me, fellas." She says, "I've messed with bigger screwballs than you in Hollywood. You can't push me around." And they kind of skirted their ties. "Oh, well, I'm sorry, Miss Crawford. We'll have to rethink that." She put them in their place. Okay, and you'll do whatever it takes. No, I'm not. You can say no to anything. Okay, but if you're going to come to me with love and embracing and wonderful things, then I will be open to that. But I'm going to take care of number one, and you take care of number one, because you are the one. So that's the story for today. So let's just know that the higher protection of divine love and is within you. It lives within you. Call it in and bolster it every day. And know that it can see its way through these screwball times where what's missing is unity, because we're all one. We all came from the same place. We're all related, brothers and sisters on this entire planet. And that we all need to take care of each other. That's the missing link. That's exactly the missing link. We're not taking care of one another. The Master Teacher Jesus said, love one another. That's a tenet for living. Okay? And that's what's missing on our planet. It's all about me. It's time for that to be reevaluated, what shall we say? And it's all about profit and greed. No, that doesn't. You can see that's what's created the problem now. So you have a right to say no. You have a right to say yes and say, but I will take this. So you can be negotiable. You can be flexible. So keep that in mind and have a beautiful day. And I'm sending you love and light. Adam Paul Seagram here. You can find me on Facebook. I'll also be at the Tucson Psychic Fair tomorrow, March 10th on Sunday on West Prince Avenue. I think it's Prince, yeah. And, as well as some other fine psychics. So I've been invited to be part of that, and I have been, and so that seems to be opening up for me, and that's what I'm called by Spirit to do. Meanwhile, I paint in my studio and I work in my garden. So do the things that nurture your soul. Much love to you. Take care of yourself. Be your own person. And anyone that's been telling you that you're not good enough, you know what? They don't know who you are. Okay? You might have to tell them. Or not, just go about and do it. They'll see it. I had a cruel stepfather when I was in my teens, and he would always tell me, whenever I'd ask to do anything, he'd say, no, you can't do that. You're not good at that. You know what? I would just, at that point, I was my own person, and he didn't come into my life until I was 12. By then, I had a foundation of right and wrong for many things. And I would just do it anyway. He never would give me any accolades, never. But I learned to be really independent and go out and do my thing. And I've made a living that way as an artist my whole life. Never had a job. Anyway, you can do what you want to do. Just know you're supported. You can contact me if you want more support on Facebook and Adam Paul Seagram. Have a great day. Much love.